Are you dry brushing, rebounding, vibration plate, gua sha, doing all the lymphatic things and you're not seeing results? I'm here to tell you it's not the tool. The tool is not the reason why you're not seeing results. The reason you're not seeing results is the order in which you're doing things. Most people, and it's out of good intention, I'm going to assume, they're teaching you lymphatic drainage, and it might be a routine, it might be a movement routine, it might be a yoga flow, it might be a rebounding routine, or how to use a vibration plate, or whatever it may be. But they're not teaching you how to clear things first. It's doing a disservice. Now I'm going to explain what that means, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to clear first to make those tools effective, because guess what? I freaking love those tools. Tools are fantastic. They're a means of moving lymph faster, maybe even a little more effective, but do you need those tools? No, not at all. So I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine that your lymphatic system is a highway. It's a whole bunch of interlacing highways and roads and streets, and there's a bunch of cars. So your lymphatic vessels are the highways, it's the road, and the lymph fluid are the cars on the road, okay? What happens is when we have a whole bunch of congestion, right? Like think of rush hour. When we have a bunch of congestion, what happens is we're not moving very effectively. We're not moving efficiently. Not everything is moving and flowing the way that it would if we had less congestion, less cars on the road. So what has to happen is we have to make sure that the cars are moving in a very specific order, a very specific frequency. Now, why this translates to our lymph is because, remember, our lymphatic system does not have a pump. It doesn't have the ability to move itself on its own. This is why it is so important as humans, men, women, kids, we all have to move our bodies. Part of what helps move lymph is contraction of muscles and the heart rate. So the beating of your heart, that pulse, helps move lymphatic fluid to where it needs to go. So if we live a very sedentary lifestyle, if we have a whole buildup of toxins or waste products or infections, because remember, our lymphatic system is part of our immune system. If we have all of these things going on, not to mention we choose to wear tight clothing, we are dehydrated, we have all these things that are furthering the congestion, right? Like adding more cars to the road, we are gonna have a harder time moving it. So if we just jump on a rebounder, literally, or a vibration plate, or heck, we're dry brushing, but we're not clearing the toll booths, we're not really gonna move things along. Now hear me out. I want you to imagine we have a toll booth, okay? And we ultimately have a backup of cars because the toll booth is only credit card, right? Debit. If the person at the front doesn't know how to use it, there's gonna end up being a backup of cars behind them, right? You cannot move the car that is 5th, 6th, 10th, 100th in line without moving the car that's first in line. What happens when we try and cram in by moving cars further back is we just create further congestion. We create further problems. And that's what I see happening when we jump on these tools without clearing the cars first in the correct order. So what does that mean to you? Because I hope you're sitting here going, okay, get to the point. Tell me, what does this mean? It means that we have to clear the choke points first for our lymphatic system before we can go and move the cars. We have to open up the toll booths before cars can go through, right? So what are the choke points? What are the toll booths? That's where the specific 7 comes in, guys. If you don't clear the specific 7 first, it's like having a closed toll booth. Whether it's somebody's not sitting there, or the machine is down, or the arm is broken that comes up to let the car through. If that isn't working, it doesn't matter what you do. You're ultimately trying to push and cram the cars from further back to the toll booth, but nothing is moving through. And I see this happen all the time. So if you're gonna do any form of lymphatic drainage, please, I'm begging you, clear your toll booths, clear your choke points, clear your specific 7 is what I'm getting at first. So let's talk and go through what are the specific 7. I'm going to list them off for you. I'm going to tell you how many pumps, how many times a day, because the other thing I want you to note is when we clear them, we're not reclosing them or anything like that. We always want the toll booth to be open so that vehicles can always go through, right? Like we want traffic to continuously flow. We want lymph fluid to continuously flow. So we're always going to start at our termini, which is above our collarbones, because this is where all of our lymph fluid flows. This is where it drains. This is where it returns to the blood supply via the subclavian veins. So all fluid drains here. Your toes, your head, your fingers, your abdomen, it doesn't matter. It's all draining at your collarbone. So we have to start here. Why we need to start here is this is the end in sight. If this is the end and it's congested, you have puffy collarbones, you have some blockage here, no fluid is actually going to be able to drain. So we have to clear this first. The other thing that I want you to note about this area is ultimately the lowest pressure for your lymph out of your whole body. And based on fluid dynamics, fluid flows from high pressure to low pressure. So if this is not low pressure, if this ultimately starts to become higher pressure because of congestion, you're not going to have good drainage from anywhere in your body. So we always start here so that this area, our collarbones, can ultimately act as like a suction. That low pressure is going to help pull fluid and allow fluid to move to it so that it can drain. Okay, from there, we want to clear our head. Our head is so important, right? It houses our brain. So we do our tonsils. Our tonsils are a massive choke point. When our tonsils are congested, we end up having things like sinus infections, postnasal drip, headaches, migraines, foggy brain, memory loss. They're even linking things like Alzheimer's, MS, dementia, Parkinson's to improper lymphatic, so brain drainage. So this is number 2. Number 3 is our apical node found just on the inside of our shoulders. This is number 3. Number 4 is our armpit. So right in our armpit, we're going to clear that. This is going to help drain our breast, our arm, so chest, our back, our scapula, all the way to our spine. Then we're going to clear our cisterna chyli. So our cisterna chyli is found midway between our belly button and our sternum. The cisterna chyli is ultimately found along the thoracic duct, which is really what is clearing fluid from our torso down, so belly button all the way down. That means all of the fluid from our internal organs, our gut, our reproductive organs, our liver, our kidneys, our spleen, literally everything down to our toes. So cisterna chyli is next, followed by groin, so right along the crease, going from our hip down to our pubic bone on both sides, and then behind our knees. That's number 7. So you want to clear all of those choke points. And if you've noticed, every single one of those is in major joints. Why? Why do we get congestion there? Well, remember, things move when we move it. And if we sit all, and especially at a computer, those major joints are congested. They're like clogged. Everything's like clamped down. So we need to unclamp it. I need you to get up and move more often. So every hour, move your body, clear your lymph nodes, stretch, good posture, proper hydration. All those things are going to help. And I promise you that if you start to implement and clear your specific 7 before jumping on and using any of those tools, which again, I love, you will get better results because you're ultimately opening up the toll booth so that the cars can go through from the lymph vessels. Those tools are fantastic at moving the fluid through the vessels, not at moving it through the lymph nodes. So let's clear the lymph nodes first. 10 to 50 pumps, minimum once a day. Ideally, if you have a lot of congestion, twice a day, and see how much better things work. Give it a try and then let me know how that goes. I'm willing to bet if you're consistent and you give it enough time, you are going to start to see way better results. Thanks for being here and happy draining.